Welcome to another episode of Coming Up Milhouse. Today we are talking about Season 3, Episode 14. It's called Homer Alone. George, why don't you tell the audience what it's about?
Oh, it's about some fun stuff. So Marge gets a little stressed out. She's been doing quite a bit of work with not a lot of fanfare. She gets pushed a little bit too far, and she has to go to Rancho Relaxo in order to kind of hit the reset button a little bit. But that leaves Homer alone, as the title suggests, and he doesn't have Marge to do for him, and it doesn't go too well for him because of that. He learns a valuable lesson, and that's the main idea behind the episodes. Funny stuff there, definitely. Very good. I like it. So let's just go straight into lines. What is your first line?
Word to the wise, Quimby. Don't write checks your butt cannot cash.
Oh, yeah. Wiggum. Not taking it from Quimby at all.
Nope, not at all.
The two of them were just going head to head about Marge.
About Marge having a breakdown on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in a heated conversation about it because Mayor Quimby wanted Marge let out of jail or not to face any charges, and Wiggum said she broke the law. So, they were having
I'm kind of on Team Quimby with this one because, she caused some, traffic jam, but it wasn't like, a bad crime she committed.
Yeah, I don't know that she needed to face jail time for it, but...
Yeah. But, I did, it was a good exchange between the two of them, yeah.
It was.
Alright.
What about your first line?
So my first line is, yeah, I don't know what Nikki's telling you. I haven't fleshed a ball in years. So when Homer's making Marge do all this stuff at the beginning of the episode, he's like, she's got all these chores and the kids miss the bus and she's starting to, you can see she's starting to lose it. And then Homer's like, you take my bowling ball to Nick's, there's a bottle cap stuck in it. And so Marge goes to Nick's bowling, and he's like, well, you want the Nick's on the other side of town, so she has to go to this guy, and he's I haven't flushed the ball in years. Like, that's a thing.
I know.
And all the time I'm like, you get a screwdriver, you pop it.
Right. And neither of them ended up helping her,
No, so
silly.
It was just so dumb I had to pick it. All right.
Yep.
All right, what's not line number 2?
This is Como Radio, WKOMA. Coming up next, a super relaxing song about clouds.
I would listen to that on occasion, man. That sounds good.
It sounds pretty relaxing to me.
All right.
Rancho Relaxo actually sounds pretty relaxing to me.
I know. They should open a Rancho Relaxo. It might not be a bad idea. You get hot fudge sundaes and Thelma and Louise and whatever you want. It's cool. All right, so my second line has to do with when Homer is alone. Actually, Bart and Lisa go and live with Patty and Selma, but Maggie has this great way of getting out of that by holding on to the door, and so they decide that Homer and Maggie are going to stay together now. So at that scene, basically Patty's giving Homer a hard time about, I don't think he can take care of baby by himself, and Homer drops Maggie while he's like countering it. So he says, for your information, I can take care of my... See? Caught her on the first bounce.
Yep.
And I love it because he picks her up. And he was all victorious about that.
Because she was still holding on to the door jamb when he steps away to argue with Patty and Selma, and then she bounced.
Yeah, got her on the first bounce. Very Homer, good line.
It was very Homer.
Yeah. So that brings us to scenes.
Well, I am going with, there's a moment where Maggie decides that she can't stand to be around Homer anymore, and he had called Barney over to help him watch Maggie, and in the middle of the night, Maggie is just really missing Marge, and especially after Homer covered up Marge and Bart and Lisa on a family photo, and it was just Maggie and Homer, and he said, it's just us now, and then you could see the panic in her face. So she leaves the house and goes looking for her mom. and gets in this little side plot of Maggie exploring, looking for Marge everywhere, and running into all different things that kind of look like Marge, like tall shrubbery and things like that. But after that, Homer calls the Department of Missing Children, and my favorite part about that is the hold music is "Baby Come Back."
Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me.
It's the best.
And he's like,
it's just so funny.
And we had talked about another episode a while back where it was the father-son hotline.
Right.
And Homer calls it because he's having a crisis, and the song was Cats in the Cradle.
Yep.
And so they did that same joke here, only it's Baby Come Back because Maggie was missing.
Uh-huh. And I think
fun.
they do it again in the future.
They probably do it more than twice.
Specifics of that, but I'm sure that we will talk about it again. But I thought that was
another
fun,
great scene.
Hold music gag to talk about.
I love it. So my scene kind of segues into that same whole subplot, and so they find Maggie on top of a building that has like an ice cream cone or something that looks like Marge's hair, and so Maggie went there for solace. And they find her there. And then Chief Wiggum, he's pretty predominant in this episode, brings Maggie back. And then Homer's like, oh, you found my baby. And then Wiggum's like, hey, hold on now. You're wanted for 3 counts of criminal neglect. And Homer keeps saying, thank you. Oh, thank you. And then Wiggum's like,
after
he
kisses Wiggum.
Kisses Wiggum, he's like, just don't do it again, you big lug.
Like all sheepishly because he just got kissed.
And I just laughed because I've said it before, the ineptness of the police jokes, in the show just are so good, and that's another one of Wiggum's just like, 3 counts of criminal neglect, but I'll let it slide.
Right. So there's a little bit of trivia that I just saw on the internet when I was looking something up, and this is the first episode where Chief Wiggum appears with blue hair.
No kidding.
So this is the first episode. In the previous episodes that we've seen, he's had black hair, which I noticed.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
But this is the first episode.
All
he
right,
has
good.
Blue
You got
hair.
some
So
new info.
trivia there.
Yeah, good stuff.
What about your winner, sir?
Oh, okay, so my winner is Otto. So when Marge causes the traffic jam on the middle of the bridge, Otto gets on top of the bus and he's like, all right, time to get some rays. And he gets one of them deals out that reflects the sun.
That was a pretty good Otto, by the way.
Yeah, I like it. And then, hey, Harry Shearer, if you ever want her to step down, I'll do some Otto on the show, no problem. Anyway, he gets some rays and it's like a vacation for him or something, but he seemed to enjoy that traffic jam, so that works for me as a winner.
He was down with it, yep.
What do you got for winner?
Nick's Bowling for my winner because there's some great advertising for both of their stations, or their places. Not that they were very equipped with pulling a bottle cap out of the bowling ball, but not only does Marge go to Nick's Bowling while she's doing her chores, Maggie reappears at Nick's Bowling looking for Marge. So there was some great advertising for Nick's there.
Yeah, good plan. They got, I don't know how much business they got out of it. I don't think they do great business, but they got.
Mouthful, but that's my winner for the episode.
All right,
what about your loser?
So my loser is Barney because he had to spend the night on a conch shell in Homer's kitchen. So Barney comes over to help Homer with taking care of Maggie because he's feeling lonely. They fall asleep on the kitchen floor because they must have had a few drinks. And that's
Homer slept on the couch, though.
Yeah, but Barney's on the floor.
Yeah.
And he's like, Barney, you gotta help me find Maggie because he wakes up and realizes Maggie's gone. And then Barney's like, oh man, you want a bad night? Try sleeping on one of these.
Why there was a conch shell in the
middle of the kitchen, and he sleeps on it.
Or in the Simpsons house to begin with. It's just silly.
Yeah.
I mean, if Barney and Homer had a night of tipping back a few, falling asleep or laying down and then rolling onto a conch shell, fine. It makes one wonder what they were doing leading up to that.
And they had more than one duff. Let's put it that way.
I know.
So who's your loser?
My loser are all the people people on 14th and Elm Street because Ernie Pie in the Sky dropped his bagel from the helicopter on the 14th and Elm.
And he said, look out, but
look out!
Unless they were carrying a pocket radio that they could hear
know.
talking, they didn't get the warning. They probably got beamed with a bagel.
So that's my loser.
All right, Ernie Pie. I like that's probably the first time we've mentioned him on the show too, so I like that too.
Ernie Pie in the Sky dropping bagels out of the helicopter.
Ah, good stuff. Very good stuff. So that was the episode Homer Alone.
Homer Alone, episode 14 on season 3. Mm-hmm. You can watch those on Disney Plus or on Hulu or on DVD if you have that. Mm-hmm. So tune in and see what you're missing out on. As always, if you like what you just witnessed, feel free to hit the subscribe button down here and share your favorite scenes.
Favorite lines. Give us some lines.
Yep. Winners, losers, make some comments in the comments below. We'd love to see what you have to say. So
that's it for this week. So we're going to do our outro, and that is, until the next time, Jiminy Jillikers.